Damo said he's looking forward to the press conference. I said, give it your best, sunshine. I've got nothing to hide. I'm an open book.
I don't think I did
I'm
say
a
that.
clean
But
page.
Danny.
Yes, Damien.
Grant Thomas. Can I ask you, before I read some
hang on. Look at
information out,
shoulders.
Can I ask?
Shoulders have just
Only
crouched.
2 words when they mentioned them.
no.
One was Grant, one was Thomas.
And I thought the
And the
fist
game
just
face,
clenched a
sort
touch.
of, what's happened here?
I'll read you some things.
Bearing in
soon.
mind, can I just jump in here? I've only been concerned with one thing in the past 5 days, so I don't know what's going on here. So this will be of great interest to me. I'll be very
Look
interested.
at the body language is
Arms
fun.
across.
All right.
Can I just get
here
your
we go.
take on? Can you tell me?
Take
Can you
on
give me
what?
your personal assessment of Grant Thomas, just in a generic sense, before I go specific,
Grant?
please?
Well, he's on Gary's show,
Yes.
and he's on there for a reason.
Do you like him?
Look,
That's a no, isn't it?
we're an acquaintance. We tend to disagree on a few issues, and probably I look at his line of media work, and he does a very good job for that show because he looks more on the negative more than the positive of probably things, and that's probably a good thing for that show.
I was just flicking through Twitter last night, and he started putting out some tweets. I'll just read a couple of them
He's on
to you.
Twitter?
Yep, he's on Twitter.
How
He's
old
got
is
a
he?
lot of following. He's the only person I know.
He goes on Twitter.
He's the only person I think I know on Twitter who has a lot of people following him. He refuses to follow one person, so
Okay.
he does it to his own
Fair enough.
beat.
Each their own.
This is one of his tweets last night. AFL-CA being the Coaches Association. Armstrong being Paul.
Yep.
Wallace being Terry.
Yep.
Frawley, question mark. Is there a little similarity here? The Richmond report, it will be an excellent revelation. Funny. Now, before you respond to that one, next one along a couple of minutes later, it's basically a pathetic attempt from the AFL to get closer to clubs and understand them. AFL control the AFL-CA and play them on a break. That's directed straight at you there.
Well, it's informed. It's uneducated.
Informed
Twattering.
or
It's
Twittering.
informed.
uninformed or informed?
Uninformed.
Uninformed.
The AFL, and look, we have nothing to do with it. It's been given our tick of approval because we understand the culture of clubs is led by coaches. So just give an insight of that. The AFL, Terry's consulting, going around to clubs looking at, because the AFLPA put a lot of processes in place, respect and responsibility, etc., etc.
Let's get back to Grant.
But let's get back to
Forget the
that
respect and
report. So that report, he's informed to put the AFL-CA in there for a start. So
Okay,
we've got nothing to do with it.
All right, we'll take that out of the equation.
So
Why he's having a massive crack at you there. He's basically saying they've put you in as a plant to do what they want to do with the coaches.
No, he's wrong. He's
Well, that's
wrong
what he's
there
saying.
as well.
So why would he say that about you?
No, well, I'm
Danny?
answerable to all the current coaches. So you
And the
you
AFL.
Well, no.
Because you do get
no,
a
no,
grand.
No,
You do get a grand.
I'm answerable to the executive, which is 4 AFL coaches. So you need to go to them if there's an issue, okay?
But you
So
get a
you're
grant from the
you're
AFL, so
but
he's
you're-
partially
Yeah,
right.
that's okay. But you're a good reporter. You go and ask the coaches how the AFL-CA go. I'm not going to be answerable to some negative, twisted guy that's been... What time was this Twitter, by the way?
Now we're warming up to it.
No, what time was the Twitter?
It was...
Now he's
it's
getting his eye in.
probably... It started during the first half
Yeah.
of the game. So
What, when?
Oh, we're talking 8
Last
o'clock,
night.
8:30,
Okay.
9 o'clock. There were quite a few... They're not the only things he
Okay.
said, by the way. And then,
Okay,
and then Terry Wallace fired back at one stage
So who
too,
won the game last night? St Kilda?
St Kilda, as we
Okay,
know,
well,
yeah.
that would have put him on the bad footing for a start because he doesn't
Because
like...
St Kilda won.
Oh, well, Ross Lyon took over. And the facts are that maybe the long lunches he goes to extended into the evening.
Oh.
And look, and I'll take umbrage to the fact that he put me... I've never worked with Plough. I played footy with Paul Armstrong. He's a beauty. He's been at... and I don't have to justify his work, but to put me in the Richmond report is a disgrace. I'll tell you why. Because my first year in 2000, when he was a footy director at St Kilda, he spent a lot of time coming to me to try and break my contract into my first year at Richmond to go and coach St Kilda.
Did he?
So why would he now put a flippant...
Did you consider that?
I didn't at all, because I always wanted to coach St Kilda. That was my dream when I left St Kilda, but I was under contract. Richmond already had one coach that walked out in Northie. They weren't going to have another. I think you know me well enough, Damo, to know. So all I can say to Grant is his sledgehammer-type leadership is Neanderthal, archaic. He may as well get that chip. No, it's not a chip. It's a railway sleeper off his shoulder, grab his bone and crawl back into his cave. Move on.
Gone from being ambivalent early in the answer to just clubbing a man about the head.
Move on.
In amongst all that, This is extraordinary. Well, this-
Move on.
I have. Press conference is over.
well, let me just put the final word in amongst all that. Spud said to Damo, "You're a good reporter."
Yeah.
You know what Warrior's response was?
He
He just gave it a, I am.
Yep,
Yes,
yep,
I
yep.
am.
No,
That's an accidental slip.
I'm not sure why the AFLCA's now, and I'm not sure why. I mean,
He's having another crack.
but 9:09 p.m. suggests maybe.
What are you saying about
maybe there
9:09
wasn't
PM?
enough oxygen in the blood. There may have been some other type of. I don't know. Maybe it was a bottle of pepper jack. Who knows?